Yeah.
So that's someone who is basically like a kid in the fifth grade who's writing a book report, but they haven't read the book.
That's every time I see her on camera, that's all I can think is that she's the.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have the Vanguard slamming Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is throwing smut on the left for no good reason, and the Vanguard's getting into it. I'm giving my commentary as well. Let's watch.
What is with. Is there any way to you that we're not being gaslit like to hell by Kamala Harris?
In what way?
Like, wasn't she like a joke even among Democrats?
Uh-huh.
Like 10 seconds ago? Like, literally,
Sure.
like a day ago.
Yep.
And now it's like the country's rallying around.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
What?
Bro, Gavin, do you remember 2016? It was crazy. Wasn't Donald Trump a joke to the whole country and then he became president of the United States? Funny how vibes work in this democracy.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
even.
we're so easily manipulated, and they're all doing it in lockstep. Yeah, no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. She polled as the least popular vice president of all time.
Yeah.
She is, I had dinner with a friend of mine recently who actually knows her. He says she's very smart, but when she gets in front of a camera, she locks up, and she's just not good at communicating.
That has not been true since she took the nomination for presidency, or the presumptive nomination. Obviously, it'll be cemented at the DNC, but there's nobody poised to challenge her. She has enough delegates, yada, yada, yada. She's the presumptive nominee. And boy, has that added some wind to her wings, man. She has developed so much confidence on the microphone. She owns the room. And guys, I'm saying this with my neutral politics observer hat on. It doesn't matter what I think of what she's saying nothing. Okay. But when she says nothing, the people cheer. When Donald Trump goes up there in Atlanta and he throws shots at the governor who didn't help him steal the election, and he makes a bunch of sad jokes about how, oh my gosh, they let us down here in Georgia, terrible state, miserable state, Georgia. Yeah, people sigh and groan and they're like, okay, when's it going to be over, right? Like, and then he just starts chanting drill, baby, drill. And the people are looking around all confused. Like, it's not 2004 anymore, dude. That's not a line people say. But to Trump's geriatric, decrepit mind, it is.
Yep.
And she tries to go off script, and she, whenever you're talking in front of a large group of people, there's a bizarre stress and pressure that really constricts your ability to communicate.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
As of the last few minutes.
Yeah, it's weird. And this is just you and me, right? This is just you and me. And now imagine you and me, but we're in front of 15,000 people that are hanging on our every word, and you're kind of freeballing, and maybe you really haven't even done the research. Like, someone's asking you how you're going to fix the economy, you right? And then you have some the problem is everybody needs money because the bills, and we're working.
This is what dumb people think running for office. It's like, well, somebody's going to ask you about.
At this point, we know that Joe Rogan would say anything to make, his president, Donald Trump, happy. He would even go as far to lie about him. We see this every single day. Joe Rogan is just doing nothing but try to lie to make Donald Trump look better. Same thing with Elon Musk. All of his friends that Joe Rogan is with now, he just wants to make them all look better.
About the economy, and you're just not going to know. You've spent the last 15, 20 years in elected office. Oh, I don't know. The economy, man. People need money. Boy, this is some robust analysis.
Joe's like, that's what I do on my show every day. I pretend to know what I'm talking about and ramble at length, improvising talking points that kind of make me sound smart. But yeah, also the funny thing about this line from Joe Rogan, we've heard it before. We reacted to it in the last Rogan clip that we did, and I'm already hearing it echoed across all of right-wing media. This hilarious line, which within is a hilarious self-own, a crazy admission. Kamala sucks. She's so bad. She was the worst vice president in American history. She's so unpopular. She can't even get through a sentence. She's terrible on TV. Yet, our guy is getting whooped by her. How come that is? If she's so bad, if she sucks so much, if the people reject her and hate her to the extent that you're trying to make us believe that they have and that they do, then why is Donald Trump having such an impossible time figuring out how to attack her, figuring out how to counter the swell of attention and media? Because if you're so convinced that it's all just the gaslighting from corporate news and stuff like that, well, guess what? Trump can overcome that pretty easily. That was his whole claim to fame in 2016. Corporate media was stacked against him. They were all in for Hillary, and he played the shtick of the populist everyman running against the establishment, and he actually won. That's kind of the whole Trump,
unlimited free media, by the way.
yeah, with unlimited free media by constantly triggering everyone. So this is the playbook Donald Trump is supposed to thrive in the best and the most. It's how he originally rose in political in Republican Party politics in the first place, going back to 2016. This is how it's always been. That's kind of Trump's whole point, is that the media is bad and the media is the establishment and I'm the populist everyman. Well, that's not working so well anymore. And now all they can do is whine about how excited people are and how enthusiastic the American
And how this
voting
would have never
electorate is.
happened if they would have stolen the election for him.
Yep, exactly.
And I think that even though Kamala didn't win, it was still interesting to see, Donald Trump get stumped a few times. Kamala Harris was definitely able to get under his skin. It was so good to see time and time again, because you really don't see Trump crack too much in the ability, whenever they were going back and forth, he really didn't know what to say sometimes.
Good on that. Like what?
Well, and that's so obvious when, with the passage of time is significant, and the significance of the passage of time is significant because of the passage of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's someone who is basically like a kid in the 5th grade who's writing a book report, but they haven't read the book.
That's every time I see her on camera, that's all I can think is that she's the
So you're saying that Trump can't beat a 5th grader? Literally, he's not smarter than a 5th grader. That's what you're telling your right-wing audience, Joe, that their guy, King Donald Trump, is less smart than a 5th grader and completely unable to beat a 5th grader. Wow.
kid who didn't do her homework.
Right.
Because she just has that vibe. Did you see the clip of her talking about how dare we wish Merry Christmas to people?
No.
Yeah, she does this bizarre rant about how we shouldn't be wishing Merry Christmas to anyone.
Is this when she was a senator?
I don't know. It's recent.
It's recent.
Yeah,
Really?
It's so strange that
There's no way
that
this
was
is
her,
recent.
that's the only time I've seen her passionate about anything on camera.
Come on, really?
Yeah, it was-
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, no, she
I've
doesn't-
seen the one she was telling that people need to be woke. Everyone needs to be more woke.
Oh,
You should
yeah.
be more woke. You should figure out who's the wokest. Try to be the wokest, but you should, whatever.
There's literally a clip of Donald Trump talking about how we need to shred the Constitution. What did he say? Put the Constitution on hold or something.
Put the Constitution on hold.
Yeah.
That's the quote.
That-
yeah.
That's literally a Donald Trump quote, and you're over here pearl clutching about a clip where Kamala says something about being woke. Like, this is literally the level of discourse on the right, and these gotchas are not gotchas. No one cares about.
It's
this
the
stuff.
same way that it worked on Donald Trump in 2016. The gotchas with him didn't work because they just found Hillary to be so repulsive. They found Hillary to be so unlikable. There were so many people who were so pissed off and triggered that they just were not going to support the Democratic Party no matter what after what happened to Bernie Sanders, after the Podesta emails. They were like,
So there we have it, you guys. We have Joe Rogan just bashing the left for no good reason. The Vanguard is going to continue to call him out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. So it's another day in the progressive way.